Now, I know a lot of you don't like the idea of being a celebrity. I'm not really a big fan, nor do I really want to be a celebrity. I can walk downtown Franklin, nobody stops me, nobody bothers me, and that's perfectly okay. But what you want to do is you want to become slightly famous to a particular niche or target market. And so, for example, my friend Nick Nanton, some of you know Dixon Nanton, they're a company we work with, a marketing agency. They do a lot of celebrity marketing and branding. And Nick has said to me, he said, Robin, if you will talk about cybersecurity, I could have you on every major news network in America like that. He's like, no problem, I could do it. And I don't want to. I said, because that's not authentic. I know enough, I know enough to be dangerous. I could say the right things because I've hung around with all of y'all long enough, but it wouldn't be authentic. And if you guys saw me on one of the major news networks talking about cybersecurity like I'm a cybersecurity expert, you're going to go bullshit, because I don't know. I write sales letters, but I don't know how to do what you do. So that's not. So again, you don't want to be a celebrity just to be a celebrity. You want to have celebrity and fame for a specific thing and stick with that. Now, my mentor, Dan Kennedy, said the higher up the income ladder you go, the more you get paid for who you are than what you do. I want that to really sink in for a second. You might not like it. You might think it's completely unfair, but that is the way it is. Best study of life is how it is not, and not how it's supposed to be. So we want to figure out, how do we become the person, all right? Because who gets paid more, a nutritionist or a general practitioner doctor? That was your cue to say something. Nutritionist, get out of here. Unless they're a celebrity, and then maybe they are, right? So yeah, if you, the average, like a nutritionist makes about what, $50,000 a year. A general practitioner doc, maybe $170,000 to $200,000, right? So it's who they are. Now, who gets paid more, a general practitioner doc or a cardiologist? Cardiologists make somewhere around $600,000 to $700,000 a year. Why is that? Can you tell me? Not specialization, solving a big problem. I've done this before. You guys should know this, right? This is refresher. So yeah, because they're solving a big problem, a significant problem with consequences, specialization, so they get paid nearly 4 times as much and probably have a lot fewer clients than the doc in the box who's getting everything from heartburn that won't go away to toenail fungus, right? And so, they get paid more. Now, who gets paid more, a cardiologist or Dr. Oz? Who is a cardiologist? Dr. Oz. All right, now, Dr. Oz has an estimated net worth of about $100 million. He has an estimated salary of about $20 million a year or more that he makes. Now, if the average cardiologist makes $500,000 a year, is Dr. Oz that much better of a cardiologist? Well, he might, who knows, right? Who knows? We don't know, but we do know that he's a celebrity, and celebrity pays. So if you look at George Foreman, now, how many of you either have bought a George Foreman grill for yourself, or you bought it as a gift for somebody else that you didn't know what the hell to buy him for Christmas one year? Okay, see, look around the room, okay? He took an ordinary kitchen appliance that was nobody bought except for maybe if their college kids that were, couldn't cook and they went to the Bed Bath & Beyond and they bought them some kind of grill, so, because they don't know how to cook, but they can make a grilled cheese sandwich, right? That was how it was sold. That was it. Outside of that, nobody bought this kind of grill. But because George Foreman, actually, we're having George come, we were supposed to have him last year at boot camp. We're going to have him at the July Producers Club meeting. But George made himself a celebrity. See, here's another thing you got to understand about celebrities. Celebrities don't just become celebrities. The celebrity fairy doesn't come along and tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, you're now a celebrity. They make themselves a celebrity. If you actually study what George did, when he first won the first heavyweight championship of the world, he was a giant flaming asshole. And he got 0 endorsements. And he suddenly realized that, because that's how a lot of athletes make their money. It's not necessarily the game, but it's in the endorsements. And he realized, I better change my personality, I better become a different person, or I'm not gonna make any money. So George is a manufactured celebrity. He's a very, very smart man. So, there's 3 ways that you can use the power of celebrity and put it to work for you, even if you're not a real celebrity, if you will. First off is you can make yourself a local celebrity. It's not as hard as you think. Number 2, you can hire a celebrity. Or number 3, you can borrow celebrity. I'm going to unpack all of these for you, okay? So does anyone recognize who this man is? Nobody, okay. I didn't think you would. Now, his name is Dr. Ming Wang, and in Nashville, he is a mini celebrity. He's a LASIK surgeon, ophthalmologist. Now, let me tell you a little story about Dr. Ming Wang. So this is going back this is before kids. My husband Dan and I, we were down at the Wild Horse Saloon, and the Gypsy Kings came in. I love the Gypsy Kings. So they were playing on stage, and we watched this concert going on. And the very last song, this man, Dr. Ming Wang, and his wife get up, and they start doing like ballroom dancing. And the crowd goes crazy. And it was like a celebrity, and I'm looking at him, I'm like, I don't know who that is. I asked the people, I'm like, who the hell is that? Oh, that's Dr. Ming Wang. I'm like, well, who's that? And he's a LASIK surgeon, but he does ballroom dancing, and everybody knows him in Nashville, right? So I was like, oh, okay, wow. So he's rounds of applause, people standing ovation. They were so happy. Later on, we go out to a restaurant, and just so happens his table, him and his wife are sitting at a table right across the aisle from us. And I sat there all night and watched people walk up to him, shake his hand, ask him for an autograph. This was before selfies, because this is going back a little bit. But all night long, this steady stream of people wanting to meet the man, wanting to shake his hand, wanting to get his autograph. And he's a LASIK surgeon, okay? Now, he's done this brilliantly, and I would really recommend you go to his website. So this is, his website is, he actually escaped communist China, came to the US with $50 on a student visa. He's a nationally ranked amateur ballroom dancer and violinist. He accompanied Dolly Parton on Those Were the Days, so he played the violin. He has an autobiography titled From Darkness to Light. He created the movie God Is Not Dead. He has published over 100 papers, 10 textbooks on the topic of ophthalmology and LASIK surgery. So I would really recommend you guys go to his website, Dr. Ming Wang. He is brilliant at this. He knows exactly what he's doing. If you go to his office, he's got celebrity clients. This is you can see the picture of him with Dolly Parton. And you look at the walls in his office, which is right below that picture, you can see are lined with pictures of him with celebrities. He has made himself a local celebrity. And nobody thinks, oh, that's unprofessional. Nobody looks at him and goes, oh, what are you writing all these books about? Nobody goes, oh, you're a documentary, Mr. Foo-Foo Pants. Like, nobody thinks that. He has a ton of clients. He's one of the largest LASIK surgery centers in Nashville, okay? Now, anyone recognize this goofball? Yeah, sexy. Well, yeah, blue suit, all right? So this is Mr. Will Nobles, and let me play, I think we have that sizzle reel ready, so let me go ahead and play that. Oh, wait a minute, no you don't? No sizzle reel, oh, bummer.
With over 20 years experience in the technology field, serving Fortune 500 and small companies alike, he holds 2 degrees and multiple certifications.
Cybersecurity expert
Will Nobles.
Boy, has he had success in his life.
Since I've started my company, I've dedicated myself in helping my clients protect the integrity of their data.
The CEO of Vector Choice Technology Solutions, please welcome Mr. Will Nobles.
People don't get risk that's out there. Don't be careless with your technology. Your employees are your #1 security risk that you have.
Someone clicks on a link, spreads across the network, and encrypts the data on that network.
When we're sitting down with a client for the first time, one of the things we're looking at is what are they doing today to protect themselves against cyber attacks.
Just because you're a small firm or you don't have a lot of money, don't think that someone's not trying to hack you. Everybody is vulnerable.
We can go into the dark web, look and see of your employees what passwords are out there.
What we do is partner humanity with technology.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome Mr. Will Nobles.
And what do you think of that propaganda, huh? I mean, seriously. Now, like, was any of that things that you couldn't say on a news network? No. Is there anything on there that you couldn't do yourself? Of course. You could do that all day long. So he actually has 2 published books. One is his backstory, and the other is a guide to smart home technology. He has spoken at multiple venues, Coca-Cola, NASDAQ, Mercedes, you name it. Has also appeared on multiple TV outlets like Good Day New Mexico and CBS. He's actually the main correspondent, I think, down in Louisiana for Fox. Has won multiple Best of awards, including Inc. 5000. He has 2 documentaries. All right, now what does all this have to do with technology? What does all this have to do, well, what is Dr. Ming Wang, what does that have to do with LASIK surgeon and vision? It has nothing, but it has everything. Because when you become a local celebrity, you automatically get trust. You see, the three I was at, celebrity, authority, and trust work like a 3-legged stool. So the more well-known you are, the more people tend to trust you. Okay, so Will, actually very recognizable in Atlanta. He gets stopped. People ask him, hey, I know you. I've seen you on TV. He can easily attribute $15.2 million directly from this type of celebrity marketing that he's doing. So this is not, by the way, I have other clients that do this. This is not uncommon. So this is not an anomaly. This is very, very common. He got his biggest client directly from them seeing him on the news and then following on social media and seeing that he had the book. And when you think about this, why won't you do any of this? It's because you've got all this head trash, and you're going to say, I don't like the idea of being on camera. I don't like the idea of being the center of attention. I don't like to brag about myself. There's nothing special about me. Am I hitting on any nerves yet? Is it kind of these things going through your head? I'm not smart enough, interesting enough. Well, that might be true, but that's okay. Nobody would want to hear me. You can fix that. We can fix that. You script you. That's what we do. Okay. People will judge and criticize me. I would feel like a fraud. And this is the big one. Believe it or not, when I talk to people, and there's myself and I have other colleagues who do marketing in different niches and industries, and they do this as well. The number one reason why people won't promote themselves in this way is they're afraid of what their friends and family are going to think. And it's crazy. You know, you're going to get criticized. The thing you got to realize, anytime you put yourself out there in any kind of marketing, advertising, you try to do anything, I promise you this one thing will absolutely happen, is that you will get criticized. And you know what? Playing small, who does that help? What does that do? Playing small, being timid, hiding, it doesn't help anybody. So, you know, this isn't going to turn into a Tony Robbins seminar and we're going to have the coals and you walk on them and I'm going to fix your head trash. But the reality is, if you're going to let this get in your way, then this is going to be a problem, all right? Because there's a lot of money to be made when you make yourself, again, slightly famous to a particular niche. Now, there's another way you can go about this. You can actually hire a celebrity. It's not as hard as you think. And you got to make sure that you hire the right one. You know, like you don't want to hire, like, you know, Nike, you know, with Lance Armstrong. You know, in hindsight, not such a good idea. You know, Jared, I don't know if you heard the story. I'll let you Google that, you know, but Jared and Subway turned out to be a real disaster. So you got to make sure you hire the right one. But like all the sharks, even on Shark Tank, are for hire. So I've already talked to Robert about, I'm writing a book. It's the first book I'm publishing. I have reasons why I'm doing it now and I hadn't done it before. But Robert is totally available to write the foreword to the book, to endorse the book. Now, he won't just do it because of anybody. He knows me, so that's a little bit, I'm still going to pay for that. So you can have celebrities. So Robert has been working with, there was a real estate company. Barbara has been doing promotions for various real estate companies. Mr. Wonderful, who's going to be here on Friday, is doing some work with Tax Hive. And they literally, you pay them. They do background checks. They make sure it's congruent and with their brand and with their messaging. And basically, you're paying them a royalty to use their image. All big advertisers do it. If you look at big advertisers, they're all got celebrities. And all of those celebrities are working for them for hire. They're not doing it for free. Now, if you can't afford a shark, okay, because they are a bit pricey, This is another example. I know I've shown this before, but I think it's just so smart and it bears repeating. Monster Cloud has John Pistole, who's the former deputy director of the FBI, and they hired him to do a video for their website. And it just instantly provides a level of celebrity, of authority, of trust by doing that. And he's actually, I know, I've spoken to him, he is available for hire. You can hire him to do the same thing for you. It's somewhere in the $15,000 to $20,000 range is what it would cost. But you can absolutely hire somebody like that to endorse your company. Or even if you watch the video, he only does a very mild endorsement. He's basically saying, hey, cybercrime's a real thing. You really need to be concerned, and these guys can help you out. Another idea you can do is hire a celebrity for Zoom. They've sort of caught up, but when COVID first hit, there were a lot of speakers, celebrities that were not out on events, and you could get them dirt cheap for a Zoom interview. And so if you can't afford to hire a celebrity to maybe do an endorsement, you can reach out to the sharks at Shark Tank or Robert Herjavec or Marcus Lemonis, who's going to be here. You can ask them, can I do a 5-minute Zoom interview with you? And they will do that. Now, I don't know what they'll charge you. You got to negotiate, but it's not going to be $200,000. But now you have you interviewing somebody who is a celebrity and having them work for you, okay? Now, here's the other thing. You can hire celebrities. Some of them are really dirt cheap. So I have Ken Sterling is the person we work with at Big Speak. And it's definitely worth working with a speaker bureau because they know people and they know who will do it and who won't do it and what their little idiosyncrasies are, and they can help match you up with the right people. But these are all celebrities you can hire for $15,000 or less. So when we did IT Nation several years ago, I had Lou Ferrigno come stand in the booth and do photos. It cost me $15,000. But you know how much I don't remember how much, but I know I can promise you this. We made hell of a lot of money because every single person went through our booth, every single one, and then every single one came back because they wanted that photo. So, you got to think about this strategically. You can also think about this. In your area, in your local market, there might be a local celebrity. It could be a TV anchor, somebody who does the morning news, somebody who's a radio personality that's local in your market, and you can get them and hire them, interview them, maybe get them to do an endorsement, and they're local, and it's going to have a greater impact because that's who most of you are targeting are local, all right? Now, the other way you can do this is you can borrow celebrity. And borrow celebrity is something you see me doing. I'm a total celebrity whore. I'm with them all, hanging out, taking a picture. And so, every time you come to a Producers Club meeting, when you come to a boot camp like this, if you can get your photo with these guys, it's a little weird with COVID now. They're kind of restricting us a little bit more. But once things open up, get your photo with these celebrities. You look at Will's even doing this with all the pictures on his website. Now, Leah is also doing a really good job about this, and I took these examples from her newsletter. So she comes to Producers Club meetings, gets her picture, but what she does is really, really smart, is she writes an article about what she learned and then puts it in her newsletter. And then that newsletter goes in the shock and awe box that goes out to new customers. So now they're seeing a picture of her with Mike Rowe or Robert Herjavec, and her comments on when I met him, this was what we talked about, here's what we learned. And see, that's a way of borrowing celebrity. And you got to put it on your website, and you want to put it in your shock and awe. Another celebrity piece, and by the way, all these templates and so forth, I have them all up on the site, on the Big Red Virtual page, and you can don't do it now because holy smokes, if all of you start downloading it at once, the lights will dim and will probably not come back up, right? So don't all down, but later on you can download these. But this is another really good piece. This is a press release that Leah did, IT Princess, The Power of a Book Signing. Really, really smart. So when you get these pictures, you want to use them in multiple ways. Don't just get a picture taken. Get a picture, write an article, put it on your blog, put it on the About Us page, put it in your shock and awe. Those are how you get the borrow celebrity. And I know you're going, yeah, I just stood next to him for 5 minutes, but people don't know that. And it instantly catches their attention. And so the other thing celebrity images like this do The reason people hire celebrities is like if I put, so if you're have any of you seen the Tax Hive with Kevin O'Leary on Facebook, your Facebook feed? Maybe it's just me, because I'm hanging around with them, I don't know. But it comes up. Now, when you see that, what happens so celebrities pay off in a number of ways. So if I see a picture of Kevin O'Leary, I might pause for a second and look at the ad where I might not look at it otherwise, right? And if I have an envelope and I have a letter and it has Kevin O'Leary's face on it and I mail that out, I might get a 10%, a 20% higher open rate, and it pays for itself in that way. So sometimes it just stops somebody in their tracks. It gets them to pay attention. If you've got the right celebrity, you borrow from their fan base who like them, so they have that transfer of trust and authority. So when you get these pictures, you don't want to just like, oh, this is a nice picture you post on Facebook once. You want to build it into all of your marketing. Let me give you another strategy. This is from a friend of mine. Karen Anderson is in a group, we call it our Wizard Circle, and it's all direct response marketers who do what I do, but we do it like in different verticals, different niches. And Karen works for Morgan James, which is a publisher, and she's a writer. And her husband is Steve Anderson. Now, they recently wrote this book called The Bezos Letters, and these are just letters from Jeff Bezos to his shareholders. So these are publicly available, and he wrote a book about it. This book has taken off. It is a bestseller, USA Today, Wall Street Journal bestseller. He's being flown all over the world to speak. He has never met Jeff Bezos. That guy is not Jeff Bezos. That's some dude with a bald head. That's it. I'm serious. But now he gets to align with that celebrity because he wrote a book based on public information about a guy, about a public figure. Okay? Let me ask you this. How many of you have read the book or heard the book Good to Great? What great company did Jim Collins start and grow? I'll give you a minute. Google it. Nothing. The book is all about writing about great companies that turned out not to be so great because they went out of business and stocks tanked, right? So that's what he did. He borrowed the celebrity from writing about this. I hate to even say it because I love Vern, but what about Vern? Vern has got Rockefeller working for him for free. Seriously. Think about this, right? So an idea for all of you is you can take any news item and you can write about it. So there was, Barbara had an email scam. It almost cost her $400,000. And she said they caught it, but she's talking about it. Now, this is an article that was published using her picture, using this public story. These are the ways that you can borrow celebrity without having to pay for the celebrity, all right? Another way to borrow celebrity you're seeing me do. I started MSP Success Magazine about 2 years ago. And let me fill you in on a little secret. It is not harder to create a magazine than it is a newsletter. It actually takes more work to write the marketing strategy brief, which I mail out, which all of you have stacked up in a corner and ignored, right? It, just so you know, it takes me a hell of a lot more time to write that than it does the magazine. But the magazine, it has a different feel. So a magazine is to a free report, kind of like what a book is to a free report, a magazine is to a newsletter. It has, people tend to read it through a different lens, you know? So if I say sign up for my newsletter, I'm not gonna get very many subscribers. When we posted this out, and it's a free publication because we're selling the advertising, when we put it out, you wanna subscribe to MSP Success Magazine, we have now 50,000 subscribers. Now, if I post it out, I promise you, if I post out, subscribe to my newsletter, I would not get as many. Because it's the magazine, because it has a different feel, people read it through a different lens, it carries a different level of celebrity. And I happen to be, the people that you see on the cover there, they are people that we actually had at our events, and I have interviewed, and they have been here, but I could pick anybody I want to, and I could put their picture up there on the cover of the magazine and write about them. Any celebrity that I wanted to. There's no holding back, like news outlets, media outlets are treated differently. You know, and I would never do a negative piece on somebody and put them on the cover. So it's complimentary, it's free PR, and they love it. So then you can see how we now do this for some of our clients. So this is Conrad. I know he's floating around somewhere. He gave me a hug in the hallway. And so when you have any kind of celebrity pieces, you don't want to just have it. You want to make sure you put in your shock and awe box on the About Us page, in your office waiting area. If you have an office waiting area where people come in, have the magazine there. Put it as an insert when you're reaching out to JV partners or news outlets or other media outlets. Because being on the cover of a magazine like this matters. It makes a different statement, okay? So celebrity, that's all how we build celebrity.